and certainly a feeling of deja vu about this, Don.
Well, we've been here before, John. They seem to get in all these competitions. Chile and Argentina seem to play each other quite regularly, and in general they are quite good games as well.
What about the pouring rain as well? That's going to make a change this evening. Anything could happen tonight. Well, both sides have made changes from the first meeting. Argentina this evening have been forced to make changes because, of course, they had 2 players sent off in that tempestuous struggle with Brazil the other day. Canigia, the striker, and Enrique, the fullback, both sent off. So Medina Bejo comes in wearing the number 18 shirt. He gets a place in the starting lineup, and Altamirano wearing 15 is named as well. Not Cravioto as we expected. Chile too have made changes. 3 in fact from the first meeting. Espinosa is back. He was actually sent off in the very first match of this tournament against Venezuela. Ramirez didn't play either in the first meeting, and neither did Patricio Yanez, wearing number 7. A very tricky customer he is, as we've seen since he won a regular place in the team. There is Eduardo Vilches, the man who scored the very first goal. It seems a long time ago, Don, now, since he scored that first goal against Venezuela.
First game of the tournament.
Well, old rivals, of course, Chile and Argentina. They've met on numerous occasions. Here we see it in the Copa. Argentina have won 11 and drawn 4 of the 15 previous meetings. Chile are hoping to break their duck here this evening. And Argentina's record in the Copa, marvellous, of course, over so many years. Scored close on 300 goals. Chile have conceded just over 200 goals. The referee this evening will be Ernesto Felipe from Uruguay, and we've noted that an official complaint has been made by Brazil about the official who was in charge of their game with Argentina the other evening when there were 5 players sent off. There's Alfio Basile, the Argentine coach, who seems to have done a pretty good job and seems to smoke as many cigarettes as Menotti did. Yeah, but he has done a good job, John. I don't think that they're not as cynical as what they used to be. Obviously they play well and they're tough, but they've got a better way of expressing themselves these days. So in pouring rain, Chile and Argentina kick off. Chile red shirts and blue shorts. Argentina in the blue and white stripes, and you can see it splashing around.
Well, that's going to be the big problem, John. It's going to hold the passes up, and a lot of balls are going to have to be played simple and forward and get into the opponent's half. They shouldn't take too many chances playing short passes. Well, and there we saw straight away Garrido hesitated. He thought about a back pass and then thought better of it, and they've in fact lost the ball to Argentina, and it's going to be very difficult to make progress. Now, we were speculating before the game just how much Argentina would miss Claudio Canigia with his close skills and his ability to get past defenders. Correct, John. Really, Chile have got to win tonight to have a chance of winning this competition. They've got to win. A draw would give them an outside chance. It would depend on the third game, and this is their best chance. Canigia is so important to Argentina's goal making. Argentina have scored a lot of goals from corners, and again, I think it was that man Franco who got up there. He does win the ball inside the opposition penalty area from corners a great deal. That's right. They've got to be well organised on those corners. It's like you say, they must spend a long time working at their corners, and they get Franco on the end of a lot of the corners. They get Ruggeri on the end of a lot of the corners. So as long as they pick those 2 up, I think they've got a chance of not giving them a goal away at a corner. What a great ball that was from Mohamed towards Medina Bejo. It just held up, but they are squelching around, and this pitch must be close to being waterlogged. Yeah, but you watch them, John. They're very clever, and this is where the South American skills will come in. They'll flick little balls in the air at each other. They'll chip a lot of the balls. They know playing it along the ground is going to hold it up. This is going to make for probably a very exciting contest, because you can expect more than the average number of mistakes in conditions like these. And goodness knows what the second match this evening on the same surface is going to be like. I'm sure it will create mistakes, John, but at the same time it will spoil the quality of the game, I'm afraid. Question about that. Well, it's not going to be easy for anybody to strike a ball, even a dead ball like this, because that leather must be weighing a ton already. Well, I've got to say this, the modern ball, because of the balls, John, the balls are okay. The modern ball, you see that shot went in, and it went just off the ground. The balls are okay. They've got a new kind of plastic coating on that virtually keeps them waterproof. But the problem is for the players, because you stand in foot, which is so important to striking the ball. You see, it'll be that type of mistake that might create a goal-scoring chance, where a back pass, all of a sudden, instead of stopping, it shoots on. Those little things that the players have a problem knowing the weight to put into a pass. Do they eat it heavy? Do they eat it light?
Everything's abnormal. We saw there the Argentine defender giving away a corner kick, which I don't think he would have done on a normal surface. So a corner for Chile, their first encouragement of the evening. They always look for Zamorano. Unable to find him.
See, John, going back to this striking of the ball. Yes.
Just having a look at these results, Don, before you make this comment. Venezuela 3-0 win, Chile 1-0, Paraguay 4-1, and then 3-2 wins over Peru and Brazil. It means that they're averaging just about 3 goals a game.
They've been impressive, John. I mean, all the way through. I mean, they are virtually favourites to win this tournament.
It's a vastly different Argentina to the one we were watching with such dismay in Rome a year ago. Because, quite honestly, that was a pretty awful Argentine side, I think most of us felt.
Yes, it was. They were over-competitive, they were cynical. They've got some of that out of their play.
Look at that ball stopping there as Batistuta chased it, and Arturo Solar, the Chilean coach, like the rest of us, absolutely bemused. I mean, these conditions are quite farcical.
Well, I suppose because it's a top-class tournament, they've got to play the game, but under normal circumstances, John, they wouldn't go through it.
No way. Free kick then for Argentina. It really is a lottery. Altamirano takes that free kick, headed away, but snapped up again in midfield, and the Argentines winning their challenges. Simeone trying to get a foot on the ball. Good skill in midfield. It was Estrada who was battling for it. You liked him. You said he was the new Aussie RD this one night, Don.
Yes, well, he sits just in front of the back four, John, and he protects any balls into feet to the strikers. I mean, the Chileans will have a problem getting balls into Zamorano, because he'll be zoned in front of Zamorano. And once he gets it, he keeps things simple. He gets everybody playing around him. He keeps giving off little simple balls.
That was Ruggieri winning it for Argentina. Chile finding it hard to get out of their own half at the moment. They do play it forward now. And what a water fast this one is. They really look at that and see that pass is going to fall well short. And even then, the opponent unable to control it, tries to set off. And it really is, we've used the word before, it's a lottery. And for goalkeepers, an absolute nightmare as well. I mean,
and for back passes, John. I mean, if you knock it back to your goalkeeper, do you knock it hard? Do you knock it light? Will it shoot? Will it stop? You know, there are all these things going in your head as a player.
And the water can spray in the face of the goalkeeper as well.
Oh, anything could happen. I mean, he could put his hands to it and he could come away from his hands.
As we said, goodness knows how the pitch is going to churn up for the second game this evening.
Simeone was very skillful there. He just kind of lifted the ball up, got it in the air, and then volleyed the ball away.
It's neatly done. Rodriguez. Franco knocking the ball out. Throw-in taken for Chile. It's almost impossible to try and find an opponent with a pass.
The only good thing about these conditions, John, they're super for sliding tackles.
Yes.
So you can go about 15,
never get pulled up.
You can go about 15 yards with your backside.
There's the ball in from Yanez, chased by Zamorano, keeps it in play, whips it back into the penalty area, out it was by Estrada. Espinosa was tussling for it, and in the shot comes. I nearly said raining in. I think that would be an appropriate one tonight. So We'll have a look at the way Chile have progressed so far. They started satisfactorily with a comfortable win against Venezuela, then hammered 4 goals past Peru, lost to Argentina in the previous meeting, a late goal by Batistuta then. They dumped Paraguay 4-0 and drew 1-1 with Colombia, and struggled for long periods in that match as well.
They've been very entertaining, John, I've got to say that. I mean, they have gone forward. And they've not only gone forward in terms of passing the ball forward, but they've gone forward in numbers. They've got a lot of players into the opponent's half.
Yes, they've been a good host nation. Espinosa with the throw-in, the man who was sent off against Venezuela. Interestingly enough, of course, I think we'd had 6 sendings off prior to that Brazil-Argentina game the other night, and we just about doubled the tally in one evening. In 90 minutes there were 5 sent off, making it 11 in all.
The officials have been very strict, John. You know, at this level, obviously, in a tournament like this, they have to be, because the world's eyes are upon them. So they have clamped down. But it's interesting, John, that it's been a better tournament for it. We've seen more goals. We've seen not too many cynical tackles.
Look at this. He's done well to get that one over, and handled competently by Goycochea. The ball in from Ramirez was a good one. Yes, you're right, Don, it's been much the better for it, but as you said earlier as well, this really would have been the opportunity for Chile tonight, with Argentina having such key players as Caniggia out, and it's a great shame that the conditions are spoiling it.
It is. They've made 2 good attacks, mind, John. I mean, they've gone down this right side, which is their strong side, the right side. They do create a lot of good openings for crossing down this right side. And they've done that twice, if they can just get people on the end of it.
Chile 0, Argentina 0 in Santiago, with goalkeeper Patricio Toledo, one of the stars for Chile of this tournament. He's been as safe as houses generally.
Absolutely outstanding, John, and he's made some great reaction saves. He reads the game well, he sweeps up behind his defence. He's got them out of trouble. I mean, they do leave themselves vulnerable, do Chile, and there's lots of times he's come to the rescue.
Free kick taken by captain Rogeri. Espinosa knocks it out, comes back towards the Chile defence, and these are the dodgy balls. That little back pass there, Batistuta looking, obviously trying to act as prey in between.
What you would do, John, whoever you'd say to all the forwards, follow every back pass in. If any of their defenders play back the goalkeeper, chase it, it'll be worth the chase, the ball could stop in the water.
That was the classic diving tackle you were talking about. He's left him groggy, and the referee has gone over forwards with Margas.
Margas likes to get his right foot in on those tackles. I mean, he's a big, strong boy, and he just likes to make contact.
We don't think he has a left foot, do we?
No, he doesn't tackle much or play the ball much with that left side.
Free kick for Argentina. Pumped up as far as it possibly could have been by Altamirano. Another interesting fact about Argentina, every squad here comprises 22 players, and Argentina have used 21 of theirs. The only man to miss out, Cancelaric, the 3rd choice goalkeeper.
So now he's danger for Chile, John. Now there's a free kick, they've given a free kick out just out the corner, just out on the right side, just outside the corner of the box. Now with people like Franco and Ruggieri in that box, Batistuta, it's got to sound dangerous. They can't afford to keep giving free kicks around the box away tonight.
Argentina's free kick, the pools of water gathering in Toledo's goal. Here it comes. Easily dealt with though.
It was a poor kick, John. Never really got over the first player.
That's one that found the mark, which might not have done, and Franco's through ball, chased by Rodriguez, but the whistle had sounded he was offside. The idea was good, the execution not quite.
He was tied for offside, John. The left back Margas, he was still in there. See the left back? He's virtually level with him. Yeah. In the modern day rules of offside, it could have been onside.
From our angle, he looked onside.
Yes, he did.
Like we said. And there's so much for referees and linesmen to think about these days. There's a header out from Vilches. boot up front. They've been looking for Yanez and Zamorano. It was Zamorano who ground to a shuddering halt in the spray. And that ball there from Simeone just didn't get more than about 5 yards. They really are horrible conditions to play in. Batistuta goes on. The whistle has sounded. Again, it's offside, but they're playing a dangerous game of Chile. Yanez puts his head down and goes, and you've just got to keep on going. But there's going to be some very weary legs out there.
Running with the ball is going to be very difficult. I mean, you know, if you knock it and it goes a little bit, it's going to get under your feet because the rain's holding it up, the water that's on the ground is going to hold it up. Running with the ball is going to be difficult.
The South American Championships brought to you on Screen Sport in association with Lucozade Sport. And what fine championships they've been. One of the best Copa Americas in living memory.
I would say so, John. Obviously, I mean, I haven't seen it. I think I saw the last game, last time it was played. But this one is 50 times better, 100 times better.
Plenty of goals, plenty of action, plenty of thrills, plenty of sendings off.
Good entertainment, John.
Absolutely. It's lifted South American soccer in the eyes of the Europeans as well. I think they were looking again for Zamorano. He was pushing.
Yeah, he jumped on the back, John. He jumped on the Argentine defender's back, give himself the lift.
The word is a number of European clubs are getting quite interested in him. The big clubs, the Bayern Munichs.
I could understand that, John. He's had an outstanding tournament. He's looked lively, he's worked hard, he's scored goals, he's good in the air. He shows for balls played up to him. At the same time, he's prepared to make runs. He's got all you need as a good front player. And he works back. He's prepared to chase, to get back and hustle defenders.
It is very much a shop window, the Copa America, for European clubs. The Barcelonas, the Inter Milans, the Bayern Munichs, they all have one eye on the Copa America, looking for new talent. Certainly Zamorano, Batistuta, the sort of players they're looking towards. Of course, the talk in England today very much about David Platt's possible move to Bari in Italy, which seems on again. And it's really coming down to Italy and Spain now as the clubs who can afford the top players.
Yes, that's right. I mean, we don't really want to lose our stars, but you can understand financially the boy going. I mean, it'll set him up for the rest of his life.
Indeed, yes. Over the years, people have profited. Going right back to the John Charleses and the Jimmy Greaves, the Joe Hitchens and the Joe Bakers in England.
Well, he has become the best goal-scoring midfield player in this country.
Here we look now at one of those Argentine midfield players who's making a good run forward. That was Medina Bejo, and the goalkeeper, he's lost it. It squirted from his grasp, and that's exactly the sort of drama we're going to witness here this evening. Medina Bejo just getting the wrong side of the defender, whipping that ball across. Very difficult one for Toledo to handle, and Argentina almost in on it.
The follow-up wasn't there, Jim. I mean, if they'd arrived a little bit early to cash in on this ball that comes off his body, he's just arrived. I think, is it Batistuta? He was just late arriving. I think Ian Rush would have been there. He'd have been virtually right up against the keeper, waiting for that ball to come back off his body, or his hands.
Rodriguez with the corner kick, a poor one again, but it's difficult. We've got to make allowances. Difficult to lift the ball in these conditions. It must be so heavy already. The crowd seem to be enjoying it anyway. I suppose they're getting wet through out there, so they might as well enjoy it while they can. Neatly done. That was a lovely little flick, wasn't it? And now Batistuta stretches it by playing it wide for Medina Bejo. His header down, however, picked up by Pizarro for Chile. Again, Roger is there, right in the middle of the defence, in the perfect place.
He's had an outstanding tournament, Roger. He's looked at the quality player. His reading of the play has been superb. He's hard. He's a good captain. And they're playing this zonal system now, and he marshals the back four very, very well.
Free kick awarded against Chile by Senor Felipe. Foul was on Ramirez. by Ramirez rather, and Argentina have this free kick. Franco wants to get more forward, I fancy. And it will indeed with the captain himself. Place the ball. For Altamirano to take it. Collected by Batistuta on the chest. Didn't quite control it, however. No free kick this time. But they're really hitting it to nobody there, really, Chile. They weren't even playing the ball away, were they?
I think there was a run going in, but the ball, the quality of the pass, was not picking out the runner.
But with these conditions, everything is neutralised, everything's evened out, and Chile really will never have a better chance probably of beating the old enemy, who they've never beaten in the Copa.
John, it becomes a game of chance, really. I mean, that's the way it's going to be.
It certainly is. Batistuta. Cross ball, defender slips and slithers, it puts him out of the game for the moment. Basualdo onto it. Oh, appeals for handball. And the referee, in fairness, thought that it was played against Margas's left hand. Still Argentina camping themselves around Chile's penalty area, but to no avail.
I think it was ball to hand rather than the other way around. He did his foot first of all and shot up into his body, and he caught it with his left hand, I think it was. But he didn't play with his hand.
There we have it. Umbrellas surround the stadium in Santiago. Quite appalling conditions for playing football. Certainly for spectating, that was a good attempted pass through, which Rubio was looking to get on the end of. Rubio gets substituted just about every time we see him. He usually stays on for more than an hour. Here's Pizarro, the captain, working hard in midfield. Didn't have one of his greatest games the other night, but he's retained his place. That was when Chile drew with Colombia. And if they'd won that match, it really would have set this one up. They missed a penalty.
He's been guilty of missing chances, John, Pizarro. And also, in general, Arturo Sala, the coach, he lets him. Obviously, I think he's getting on in years. He lets him play for about an hour. It's just over the hour, and then he subs him.
What a great ball in from Yanez. Zamorano looking to get there, kept at bay by Sergio Vasquez, the Ferrocarril defender. Lovely ball in, however, that on the turn from Yanez.
Well, he's become the star, one of the stars of playmaking, Yanez, for Chile. I mean, he was sub for the first two games, but once he came on, and become very impressive.
Yanez, who went to Europe to play and then returned only last season to Colo-Colo, the leading side. That was too short, the pass. And Yanez has been an outstanding performer in Chilean football for a decade now. He starred in the '82 World Cup finals in Spain, and he's still starring. Again, was a ball which either side could have won. In the end, Argentina did. Played forward, straight through. It goes to Goycochea. Another one who apparently is talking to the top European clubs, Sergio Goycochea, the goalkeeper. Did play in Colombia with Millonarios. Exactly halfway through the first half in Santiago. No goals, Argentina 0, Chile 0. And it's absolutely impossible to say the way this game is going to go. If anything, Argentina perhaps a little more impressive. But
well, I think, John, you've got to keep things simple.
Here they are, they're three men up in this attack, but once again, Vasquez there.
If you get the chance to get the ball in the back of a defence, you stick the ball in the back of the defence, because it's going to slow down with the water. And then if you get a chance to get it into the box, you get it in the box. It's got to be very straightforward.
Pizarro's pass intercepted by Estrada, knocked by Batistuta, wide. A lovely ball from Rodriguez there, trying to get it inside Margas. Chile themselves come out now with Este, one of the Universidad Católica players in this team, and it really is a direct split almost, the Chilean side. They've 7 Colo-Colo players, 2 from Universidad Católica and 2 who play in Europe. It's just a club side plus 4 other players, really.
In many ways, John, it's the best way to have an international team. You know, the understanding's already there because they're playing with each other obviously every week in the club.
Además are sponsoring our coverage of the South American Championships, coming to you live from Santiago. And it's Argentina in possession and belting the ball forward. It comes back at them, however. Trying to cut out the midfield, but you can't cut anybody out in these conditions. A little layoff didn't quite work, and Franco turns it to his right.
See, it could be that a goal will come through a defender losing his balance or making a mistake on the ball. That's why it's worth getting the ball into the box.
Indeed, or even a goalkeeper fumbling.
Yes, a follow-up on a goalkeeper, coming back off a goalkeeper.
Chances here, he's onside, Batistuta, great opportunity for Batistuta, he got the ball tangled in his legs, and down goes Toledo to make the save. And that was a scare.
Well, they've given offside, but the left back was still playing the man on again. He's in there again, Margas. He's playing everybody on. And the referee should let it go.
Yeah, the linesman's been wrong twice, actually. Again, Medina Bejo trying to get through. Margas certainly gives the impression of a bit of vulnerability down that side.
Well, he's not reading the play. I mean, I don't know whether they've worked at this in the last couple of... I mean, they haven't played so many offsides in their previous games, but tonight they want to hold just outside the box. They're trying to kind of 20 yards out, 25 yards out. They're trying to hold and not back into the box.
Yanez for Chile, waits for the support, decides instead to play it across the edge of the area. Here's a shot coming in for Chile, off the crossbar, so unlucky. It's Este. Fabian Este with the right foot clipping the angle of crossbar and post, and that's a really good effort from the man who's got 1 goal so far in this South American Championship, and that would have beaten Goycochea.
Well, first of all, he's got up, you see, he's a midfield player, he's got little players, Este, but at least he's got up with the attack, and the ball's gone into the box and then it's come out to him and he's just outside the D. And obviously he's took a chance, played it in, and it hits the crossbar. Next time it might dip under the crossbar.
It will have encouraged Chile and they come once more. One thing's for sure, you can't play in tight little areas. Well, that's a good ball laid forward by Rodriguez for Batistuta, and an important tackle as well by Garrido. They'll be able to crack it more than about 5 or 6 feet at the moment. Ball, remember, getting heavier and heavier, and a free kick for Chile.
Rodriguez has been outstanding also for Argentina. I mean, he's supplying the front two all the time. He just sits behind his front two, and he's supplying them with balls all the time.
Yeah, Rodriguez didn't start in the...
and he's got this he's got the intelligence to find space in the middle of the pitch. You know, he knows where to go to get himself some room to play.
No doubt about that, a free kick against Altamirano, and Yanez has something to say to him about it. Dived in on his back, didn't he? Hit it on the calf. And free kick awarded, which means that Goycochea has to do some pointing, some organisational work in front of him. Looks as though Espinosa will take the free kick. But Argentina get everybody back behind the ball, look at that. Laid forward, it's just going to be too long. It wasn't a bad idea.
Good idea, yeah. There was a Chilean player making his run out towards the near post.
But Chile's so unlucky just a moment ago with Fabian Este's shot here. Short trigger of a shot and straight off the crossbar.
Yes, he virtually did it without any knee lift. You know, he hadn't got time or room to get a full swing, and he just bent from the knee backwards and dug it out quite well.
But again, long-range shooting, very much in the market for that tonight because the goalkeepers might be left-footed. Heavy boots.
Well, they haven't got anything solid to push off. I mean, if they've got to dive, they've got nothing to push off from. They've got no base.
That's a nice little layoff back to Pizarro. The interception was from Basualdo. Now it's laid forward by Rodriguez, straight into a pool of water, however. I think one thing's noticeable, and that is that both sides have retained their tempers so far very well indeed in this opening half an hour, because these conditions can lead to very frayed nerves.
They're very frustrating, John. I mean, if you're out there and you can't get your passes away and you can't keep your balance, it's very frustrating for players.
But so far the referee has had a good hand on it. And it's 0-0 with Ruggieri climbing high again to win the header. The other end, Margas wins his header.
So there was a little bit of skill there. The ball came out to Simeone, who got his back to the way he got to attack, and he just lifted it up. He put his toe in the ball and then just hooked it on its way. You know, help it on. It's that type of thing you have to do in these conditions.
Argentina's throwing, eluding the two players going for it. Belted straight upfield towards Zamorano. It's Ruggieri who seems to be sticking pretty close to Zamorano tonight, who was in there once more. 16 minutes of the first half left in Santiago. Argentina 0, Chile 0. Argentina, no doubt the favourites in the Copa America this year. They've won it 9 times officially. Oh, well, Batistuta's gone down there and he just pulled something.
As he got free from his marker, I think he took a flick on his calf. He just caught him. He got away from him and got onto the ball, but I've got a feeling that it's hurt him.
It has hurt him. You just saw him grimace before he went down.
Yeah, he's caught his ankle, the back of his ankle.
And he's not play acting because he did want to continue. You could see he did.
Just watch here. And he just catches his feet there.
That's where he's felt it.
He wants a foul, but all of a sudden, he's not sure of his ankle, and obviously it's hurting.
Nearly got another one as the player was jumping over him as well. Well, the crowd really getting behind their country, but it's still 0-0 as Yanez, that ball went out. I don't think he's any cause for complaint about that.
From here, John, also the lines are disappearing.
That is a problem.
I mean, it's virtually washing the lines off the pitch.
Altamirano throwing for Argentina. Clearance by Rodriguez. Straight up in the air from Batistuta and straight back towards his own goal. Pizarro now for Chile, picking it up. The Chilean captain hoisting it, trying to get it over the top of Vasquez and his co-defender over that side, who's Basualdo. Good contest, good competition, but chances very few and far between. But that's because there's little rhythm in the game because of the conditions.
It's completely taken the skill out of the game.
Yanez, he has some skill and goes into the Argentine penalty area. Then he's blocked out. Loud appeals, and quite rightly the referee turns them down.
He made a super turn when the ball was played into him just outside the box. He turned super to his right-hand side and down the left one, and he's made his move into the box. He evades one there, and then there's two there, but the lad was already there. He ran into the lad, really. He ran into the defender.
Now it's all happening at the other end of the pitch. Clearances by Espinosa. That will run out of play. We're into the last quarter of the first half, goalless. Not had many goalless draws in the entire competition, as we see Yanez there, who's just running into Vasquez.
Say this, the defender did move across his path.
One back and then lost again. Oh, well played by Zamorano, holding Ruggieri off. Franco is back. Takes it away. Then lays the long ball up for Medina Bergeau, and Margas got that altogether wrong, and Medina Bergeau has got past him. Here's a great chance if he cuts it back well this time, and here's it. Oh, Batistuta directs his header straight back into the welcoming hands of Toledo, and that's the best chance we've had in the game.
Yeah, well, they're exposing Margas, the left back now, John. And that's a lovely cross. He just gets a flick there, I think, the keeper, lifts it up, and it's just enough to put the header off as the ball goes through to the back post.
Good point, because you really would have fancied Batistuta the way he's been heading goals in this tournament.
I think it just affected the flight of the ball, and instead of him just being able to knock it into an empty net, it just affected it, and he went back to Toledo.
So you give the credit to the keeper.
Oh yeah, he just got his fingers on the cross.
But you're right, Margas dreadfully exposed by Medina Bergeau. He missed the first tackle, and then he had to chase back, got beaten again. And that is where Argentina might win the game.
Yeah, they've done their homework, obviously, Argentina, and they're going to expose Margas, the left back. I mean, Rodriguez, when he picks it up in midfield, he's looking for that ball played in the back of Margas. And that's why Bergeau's out there as well. You know, he's playing out there on that right side, and he knows he can take that full-back on and do it.
Let's have a look at this. Bit of pushing, shoving, the ball holding up again. Down he goes.
I think that was a bit of play acting there. There was hands and arms kind of flailing from both players, but
yeah, Batistuta's not entirely happy with life at the moment. He's just missed a chance as well.
No.
But he's very much a hero, of course, at home. The goals he's scored in this tournament, 5 of them.
He scored some outstanding goals, John, but he's not as game as Zamorano. Zamorano gets on with it.
Scored 5 apiece. Joint top scorers in the competition. Batistuta, bear in mind, winning only his 6th cap tonight. Zamorano winning his 17th. Another long-range shot maybe here. Oh, it's well, he tried to tee it up, in fact, for Espinosa, and Argentina managed to scramble it away to safety. And now Batistuta comes and lays a ball which must surely be too long. Long way too long.
You see, he didn't know what weight to put on that kick. He could see the player going ahead of him on the through to get onto a through ball, and I think he thought, well, I better hit this one, and obviously he's overhit it.
It's a day for a thinking footballer, this one, isn't it? Can have a good brain on his
whatever decision you make, John, out there, it can be wrong, and I think it'll be wrong more times than not. But you have to get on with it. It's the same for both sides. That's the most important thing.
Need webbed feet in the second match on this beach, I think. Argentina coming towards the end of the first half on the attack here against Chile. It's still 0-0, and remember, Chile have never beaten Argentina in the Copa America. It's a dreadful legacy for them, really. Got down and scrambled that one again, but 10 minutes to go in this first half, and all the action around Toledo's goal at the moment.
It's a good long distance shot from Rodriguez, and it shoots on, you see, that time, and Toledo had to get across and get his right hand into it. It was virtually a toe poke.
It was a toe poke, yeah, but it was going in.
It was worth it, isn't it? I mean, anything can happen.
Now at the other end, Zamorano for Chile. Nice little ball in here as well for Yanez. Excellent defending. The man who went with him was Altamirano, who put the ball out for a Chile corner. That was a lovely riposte. And what a good ball it was played by Zamorano.
We'll get down that right side with Yanez.
Espinosa, corner for Chile, away from Ruggeri, knocked back in from Pizarro. Ball holds up again, and now the chance is on. Simeone has made a dash forward. Medina Bergeau, it was going through the middle. And Medina Bergeau looked odds on there until the goalkeeper Toledo came from his line and nipped it in the bud.
He's done that a few times over these last few games, Toledo. You know, he swept up behind Garrido time and time. I mean, Garrido was wrong there, what he did. I mean, he was first to the ball that got played out from the corner, and he kicked it against the Argentinian player. And obviously then broke for the Argentinian rather than Garrido. Luckily the goalkeeper was alert.
A lot for Arturo Salah to think about. Now, Don, as a coach yourself,
he's very philosophical though. I mean, he just sits there, he doesn't seem to get excited, he seems to be taking it all in. Obviously he's thinking to himself now, he's looking at his watch, and we're going to be in half time now. What can I say to these players to get a result?
And what is he going to say to them?
Keep it simple, get it in the box, get it in behind them.
And I would have thought as well, play to the strengths, play to the Yanez.
Play to the good things, yes. Get it in the Yanez, yeah. Get the crosses in. Get your midfield players up to the D.
And also have a crack from anywhere outside the box.
And follow up.
That's it. We've sorted it out. That's all that's got to be done. It's Argentina on the attack though in these closing moments, and again the ball is nicked away from the Chilean defender, and it's come down here to Franco. He can't get a cross in, however. Should get another touch on it before it goes out. He hasn't done, and it will be a goal kick. Well,
no, it's a corner. I mean, it was a corner. I mean, all he did, and he was in playing distance. He was within right to shield that ball because he was in playing distance of the ball, and he wanted to let it run out of play. The Chilean player obviously was a little bit frustrated because he couldn't get up the ball.
Rodriguez takes the corner then for Argentina. Closing moments of the first half in Santiago. 0-0 it is. Dire conditions, but equal for both teams. Rodriguez, corner kick. Very long. A bit wayward in the end. However, they look to beat the offside trap. It's going to go dead by about a couple of feet wide of the left upright. Really is almost bizarre. Anything could happen. A daft goal could win this one.
Well, to be honest, I'm a bit disappointed in the corners. I mean, he's taken perhaps 3 or 4 now, and they've scored most of their corners right centre of the goal, virtually on the penalty spot, where Franco's coming in, and for some unknown reason he's not getting in there.
Just one early on, wasn't there, for the first couple of minutes. This is Rubio. Not seen much of him as yet tonight, but he's won a corner now for Chile. So corners at both ends. The word is that Rubio and Yanez don't exactly hit it off. They're playing for one spot often.
They don't seem to play well together in the same team.
They don't. They've both got individual skills, and here is Yanez trying to use his, but...
And what happens, John, is that you do get front players taking the same space. They make the same runs, and they both play in the same space. And I think that's exactly what those do. They both run to the right. They both run to the right wing. And obviously that's why they can't play. Both can play in the same team.
If Argentina win tonight, they'll be very firm favourites indeed. They have 2 points from their opening match when they beat Brazil 3-2. The other result was Chile 1, Colombia 1, reminding you again that we're still playing on a round-robin league basis here. It's not a knockout. So after this, each of these sides has one further match to play. Argentina will play Colombia, Chile will play Brazil. On by Estrada, good ball it was too. It's given a chance for Batistuta to lay the ball over. It's not really his best tonight. However, Estrada picks it up once more. Now Basualdo, pursued and harried by Zamorano, wins the ball from him. Does enough to get it to Rubio. That's going to be a free kick against Basualdo, who dived in. It's going to be the first yellow card. It's a red card, is it? It looks like a red card straight away because of an elbow here. And Chile are going to be reduced to 10 men. Well, we haven't had a yellow card shown in the match, let alone a red. But here, before half-time, we have drama. Let's have a look. Down went the Argentine player.
Well, the referee said it was an elbow in the face. It seemed to me as though the Argentinian player was going past the Chilean player to get to the ball, and then they contacted him.
To me, he doesn't even look to have made a contact with him at all. He's holding his head there.
I think he's contacted the Chilean player, John, as he's gone by him to go and attack the ball, as it was the defender in front of him got the ball. But he was going past the Chilean forward to get to the ball, and he just caught his arm. I don't think there was any intent, and I don't think the Chilean forward was kind of trying to hit him with his elbow.
But it looks as though Yanez has gone. He shrugged his shoulders, he holds his hands out and says, what have I done? Well, we were denuded of Kenichia's appearance in this match, one of the most skillful South American footballers beforehand because of his dismissal in the last game. And now Yanez is going to.
I always think in this situation, John, like he's seen something, the referee, and what he ought to do now is the player that's on the floor, he should go over and look at his face.
Yes.
To see where the contact was, to see if there's any blood or any signs of a bang or a knock. Now, if there's no signs, he should really perhaps warn the player and keep him on the pitch, because I think that decision's not right in that case. Obviously, if any player elbows another player, he should be sent off, no doubt about that, because he could break his nose, he could knock teeth out, he could do anything. But in this case, I don't think there was any intent.
Neither did I wasn't even sure there was any contact. As you say, he should have had a look at the player's face.
Yes.
Maybe he has done. To be fair to the referee, maybe he has done. I also think sometimes that referees could be a bit more demonstrative in showing the crowd why a decision has been made, and he could make an indication with his elbow. Well, there's the first real drama of the half then. Chile are down to 10 men. Another sending off in the Copa América. We said that we'd have a share of them. We've certainly had that in the last few matches. I suppose as the competition has intensified and results become more and more important, it's going to happen. But Chile have got something on their hands now, and their coach, Salah, has got extra words to think of to inspire his 10 men in the second half. Oh, here he goes again. He's reaching for the card. This is a yellow. Probably Ruggeri, I think. Bit difficult to see there, but it looked as though it was probably Ruggeri, the Argentine captain. He's climbed all over him.
Yeah, that's right. That was more like a wrestling match there. I mean, he was in his right.
Yellow card then for Oscar Ruggeri. But Chile have 10 men. It is still 0-0 as we approach the end of the half, and it's flicked away from the head beyond Margas coming in, and it will be a goal kick. So one sending off, one booking.
Well, they've lost one of their main attackers now, John, and that's not a good sign for Chile. I mean, he is the player who can get into the byline. He does get good crosses, does Yanez, and they'll miss him.
They certainly will.
Rubio's got to do it now, together with Zamorano.
I think the best thing the referee could do at the moment is blow his whistle for half-time. Might get a bit silly and a bit scrappy out there.
What we could do, John, is get the groundsman on with their squeezes.
Yes. I think they'll need more than that. There's a player down there as the whistle does sound, and that indeed will be half-time here in Santiago. It's Chile 0, Argentina 0. Chile have had Patricio Yanez sent off. No goals, however, and everything to play for, as they say, in the second half here in Santiago in these very difficult conditions. Argentina with a player, Simeone, down on the ground. Join us again for the second half after the break.
If we get onto the ball at the back of the defence, get it into the box. It might not be accurate, but at least we might get something out of it.
Well, it's 0-0, but there have been a lot of goals scored in the Copa América, and there we have the fact that 66 of them have gone into the net after just 22 games this year, and that's the best tally since 1975, so the format has certainly been successful. 77 goals scored back in 1975, since then 63, 55, 33, 54, but 66 this time. That's a good record. I think the only people who are happy out there tonight are those who make umbrellas and raincoats. They've done a roaring trade.
Well, people always argue, John, and it's the same in the World Cup, about this group thing. I mean, how far should the group thing go? Should it just be the first phase? Should it be the second phase? Should it be sudden death like cup ties are? Well, this has been a terrific advert for group work. My own feeling about it, it's the attitude of the coaches and the players. They're all going out there to entertain and score goals.
Lucasade Sport are helping us with our coverage of the South American Championships through their sponsorship. It's 0-0 between Chile and Argentina. Now I have a couple of questions for you, Don. I'm going to I have a funny feeling that Rubio might be seen a bit more now that Yanez has gone off on the Chile side. And I have a feeling that our old friend Batistuta, who hasn't really shown so far this evening, might still want to pop up with a late winning goal.
Well, let's talk about the Chilean, the Yanez and the Rubio. I agree that they don't seem to play together in the same team well, and they both make these runs from the centre of the pitch in behind the opponent's left back. And obviously, when they're both on the pitch, they're getting each other's way. Now, I think, obviously, because Yanez is off the pitch, Rubio will make those runs. And I hope he's as effective as Yanez been. Now, the other way, I mean, Batistuta, he's a bright young boy, and he's having a good tournament. And he's quite likely to get a goal at any time, John.
I think so, even though he's not shown, he's the sort of player who you can miss him for 20 odd minutes and then all of a sudden he does some one little flash of brilliance and he's back in the mind. So Chile come looking in the early part of the second half, and there are appeals here for a handball. Surely it was well, it was inside or outside the area. The Chileans certainly frantically appealing for it. The referee's having none of it. Remember that Chile have only 10 men at the start of this second half because Patricio Yanez, one of their two main front runners, was dismissed for what the referee said was an elbow on an opponent. We didn't see it that way, but he did, and that's what matters. Straight forward from Ramirez, away by Ruggeri, only as far as Pizarro. That's a good ball as well as it turned out. Coming forward now is Rubio. That's a nice turn by Este, the man who hit the crossbar in the first half. Still Este, now it's Rubio. The high swinging cross, surely dealt with by Ruggeri. The high balls in have generally been dealt with admirably by the Argentine captain. And here's danger straight away at the other end as they find Batistuta, who want to take on Vilches. He'll hit the shot in, and down goes Toledo to make another stop.
Yes, he's very bright. You can see at half-time that both coaches have gone to their players and said, look, keep it simple, play it forward, try and play it in the back of the defence, get it in the air, and even if it's not accurate, the defenders might make a mistake. If we get all of it, then we'll play.
Chile really need more than a draw tonight.
Yes, and I saw a good sign there. I mean, they've got Rubio and Zamorano up front, and Este is pushing on from midfield to try and make that third man at the front. Now that Yanez is off, they need him there.
He's had a good game, Este. Apart from hitting the crossbar, he's been much involved. Here's a dangerous one. Turn away by Vilches. And what's more, he's found Este once more. He's finding a bit of space now. A good pass delivered, but it's come all the way back to Pizarro. Looking for Zamorano. Again, Ruggeri, the tall man, getting up above the opponent and knocking it out. It comes again for Este. He's certainly seen a lot of the ball at the start of the half. Rubio a turn. Wins it as well inside the area. Laid safely back by Basualdo.
The pitch just looks a little bit better, John. I think the work they did at half-time, all the groundsmen, it's just got some of the water out the way at least.
Yes, that's true. We haven't seen the ball sticking as much, have we, as it did in the first half?
No, the water looks as though it's gone through. But you'll see this straightforward approach. You'll see a lot of balls kind of slung in there from deep positions, and they'll make the best of them.
Don't forget, in this great double bill, you've got Colombia and Brazil coming up. Ron Jones and Martin O'Neill will be bringing you the coverage of that match. Meanwhile, Chile and Argentina battling here for first blood. 0-0 it is. Chile's 10 men. There is the coach, and he's saying, come on, dig in there. Stick at it. He knows, of course, he's going to become an absolutely national hero if he can lead his team.
Dead right, especially with 10 men, yeah.
To a win over Argentina.
He wants them to compete, obviously, John. He wants them to give them their best.
Arturo Salah, the Chilean coach, has been highly successful at club level, and as we've discussed before in our programmes, he's actually been to Europe to study football in France and Britain and Germany and Italy. So So he knows what it's all about.
He's a winner, John.
But is he going to be a winner tonight? Well, here's Zamorano, one of the stars of the tournament. Headed away by Vasquez. He's been powerful tonight. Vasquez alongside Ruggeri. It's going to take a lot of imagination to prise open this Argentine defence without Yanez. Rubio on the ball. Lovely pass through as well. Still tussling for it is Espinosa. Comes off two Argentine players. Still it doesn't go out. Simeone tries to clear. Does so more successfully, and Batistuta carries on and asks Medina Bejo to chase after it. Back pass good. There wasn't as much doubt in the mind, I don't think, about it either.
But Margas did well there. He did a proper covering job as a left back. Got a crossing behind the sweeper and tucked it away to the goalkeeper.
There is Mr. Margas once more. It back, and there you have a very graphic illustration of the conditions in Santiago. It's raining cats and dogs.
It looks like a nice evening in Manchester, John.
One of the better ones, yes. Rodriguez. I'll get shot the next time I go to Manchester for saying that. Lifted in and hands on ball. Toledo then pumps it upfield. Looks a bit disgruntled with his clearance. However, it's found a colleague. Zamorano. Now Pizarro. And they're knocking it about well. Espinosa. Inside Pizarro again. All cut out that time, and Franco doesn't make much ground. Not seen as much of Franco in this match as we did, especially in the first half against Brazil.
Big long-legged boy, John. These conditions wouldn't suit him.
Really is interesting to surmise what Canigia might have done in these conditions, isn't it? I mean, obviously it would have slowed him down, but with his skill on the
he
ball,
would have been a threat all the time.
Chile come. Oh, it's a poor header. Yes, I think he might have been, because he does have the close control, doesn't he?
The problem would have been if he was running with the ball and he was kind of getting stuck in his feet.
Simeone for Argentina. Playing it straight against Pizarro, and now Rubio for Chile. Hugo Rubio plays for St. Gallen in Switzerland. There's the ball laid in, and once more it's Ruggeri who gets his left leg in the way. Doesn't matter as a defender what you get in the way with. It's the head, the shoulder, the body. Get that ball out.
Dead right.
Especially in these conditions, and there he is again. For me, he's been probably the best defender in the entire tournament. Vargas in a spot of bother.
You've got to forget about looking a good player, John, in these conditions. You know, you've got to look effective, and you've got to be effective. You know, if you think you're going to go and play in this lot and look a good player, you can forget it.
Yes, even the silky, you know, the Glenn Hoddles and the Trevor Brookings struggle to look elegant in these conditions. Sort of days that Nobby Stiles and Billy Bremner used to relish.
That's right. Yeah, the real tough competitors.
Forward it goes again for Chile, beyond Zamorano. Ruggeri again. Sorry to keep going on about him, but he's not put a foot wrong. Yeah, he's a vastly experienced player. He's played at Real Madrid level.
Yeah, he's got everything, John. He reads it well, he tackles hard, he's good in the air. He marshals the back four. You know, he's got everything you need for your experienced player.
8 minutes gone in the second half in Santiago, and it's 0-0, but it's a Chile corner. Well, they're bellowing away under those umbrellas. They're trying to urge the team on. It would mean so much to this country, which has never won the Copa America, if they could do it this time. It's their best chance in front of their own people. Argentina with 2 men out, suspended. The heavens opening. And here come Chile again. Oh, good tackle back. That was a very determined effort.
Yeah, I wish I got a few shares in the Chilean umbrella factory, John.
Absolutely.
I think we made a few bob today.
Still the ball won't come across. It does now. Can they lay it off? Cracked in, and again they get bodies in the way. The cross coming over for Zamorano. He must be offside surely this time. Yes, I think the linesman's right.
Yeah, the defence came out well. On the ball that got knocked out to the Chilean player who played it back in, the defence came out on that ball. He's knocking it in there, but they've all come out. You can see all the blue and white shirts. There's 2 players offside, in fact.
He's well stranded. So Goikachir's hair plastered to his head. He looked like the Wizard of Oz, that fellow in there then.
Pack of Max and umbrellas, John. They made a bomb today.
And the birds are flying as well. Well, they're singing away anyway. Oof. Total miss kick by Este. So we hope that's not the mistake that lets Argentina in. I think not now. Good diving header out, and what's more, it's found Pizarro up there. And the Chilean captain, now the conditions are getting worse again. But that's because of the second deluge here. This is a strong and bold and determined run forward by Ramirez. His foot went up a little.
He went over the top on the end of it, John. He knocked the ball too far forward to him. He knocked it into the Argentinian defender. The Argentinian defender to get the ball away, and he went over the top.
And I think it's a yellow card.
It wasn't hard, but it was over the top. Watch.
Sort of makes you cringe. Altamirano coming off worst. So I think the booking totally justified on that occasion for Ramirez. Second player booked. First was Ruggeri of Argentina. Sent off was Patricio Yanez. But it's still 0-0. Altamirano felt that.
I think there's a few stud marks down his shin, John.
He was an interesting selection tonight because the option was there to bring Craviotto back with Enrique out of the side. So Alfio Basile preferred Altamirano. Simeone for Argentina. It needs a goal, does the game. Rubio hacks it wide out to the right, asking rather a lot. Oh, that's a nice piece of skill from Franco. Good turn. Yes, he's just managed to get it through to Rodriguez, who plays it back against Franco. And Rodriguez now gives away this free kick for the challenge on Ramirez, and he gets a yellow card. So the referee making it pretty obvious that he's not going to stand any more nonsense here. You did say right at the start of this game about players diving in these conditions.
Yes. Well, the referee's got to be good, though. I mean, he's got to decide whether the conditions have caused the problem or whether the player's gone in with intent.
Great header out from Ruggeri there. Margas struggling. Wins it, however, but illegally so. The free kick is given against him. Well, interestingly, Argentina have had more players booked here than any other country. Ramirez there becomes the second this evening and the 15th in all booked during their 6 matches here, more than any other country. Sounds a familiar story, to be honest. They've not lost, mind you, since that World Cup final defeat by West Germany in Rome 12 months ago. So Alfio Basile's got a great record. 12 matches they've played, unbeaten, you can't argue with that. And they were so down after losing that match in Rome. There's a shot coming in. Oof! And the goalkeeper Toledo almost booted it behind his own line.
That's what we said, you've got to follow everything in. I mean, Batistuta, as part of his education now, he should be said now, every time a shot goes in on the keeper, every time a shot goes in, run towards the keeper. You always say that to your strikers, especially your young ones. You say, right, now you're a centre forward, son. Now every time a shot goes in, run towards the keeper. Because you know for a fact, it'll either come to you or it'll come back off the keeper and you've got a chance of knocking it in.
Chile's free kick. Posed no problems whatsoever. Margas is in trouble against Medina Bejo. Stuck at it. Pizarro for Chile. Turns and checks and gets away from his marker. Rubio, free kick for handball against Vasquez.
In these opening minutes of the second half, John, I'll tell you, this Chile don't look as though they've only got 10 men. I mean, they are in the game. They are virtually taking the game to Argentina.
I think that's because they have reorganised, haven't they? They've managed to push Este forward.
Yes, Este is playing just behind Rubio and Zamorano.
And an Argentine wall formed, 4 of them. Going to be joined by Medina Bejo now. Well, he'll do well to score from this distance in these conditions. It looks as though Pizarro might well have a crack at goal here. No, it's laid forward and it's trickled harmlessly through.
I don't know really what he was trying to do there, John. I don't know whether he was trying to hit a forward in the box or hope that there's a deflection. I couldn't see what he was trying to do with that free kick.
I'm glad you said that, because I was about to say I'm not quite sure what he was attempting. It was neither one thing nor the other, that was it. Perhaps he didn't, perhaps he changed mind halfway through it.
It definitely didn't work, John.
Quarter of an hour gone in the second half in Santiago. We're goalless at the moment, but half an hour left. Of course, if it stays at 0-0, Argentina will be reasonably pleased, because they'll have got 3 points from 2 games. Chile will have got just 2. And then Brazil, Colombia coming up next, and you can see that here on screen sport, obviously, as well.
So there was a bit of kind of technique for bad conditions, Simeone. The ball came into him, he lifted it up, he had a couple of touches in there, a couple of keepy-ups, and then he slammed it down the field.
Simeone's done 1 or 2 good things tonight. Franco getting himself more involved. Pizarro bounce it forward, but nobody's that far. Oswaldo leaving it for the final clearance from Vasquez, but easily chested down. Everybody's diving in on it now. Margas with the right foot.
It's the skill when you want distance, lift it up and then slam it off the volley.
Again, the spray shoots away from the boots. Simeone manages to nod it on towards Batistuta. Well, it might only take 1 mistake tonight, that's the problem. Ruggieri for Argentina. That's nicely done. He was very calm under pressure there. So not a good ball this time, picking out Oswaldo, and the Argentine up towards Medina Bejo. He will never win much in the air, Medina Bejo. He's only about 5'6". And I see a lot of players are now adopting that technique of just flicking the ball in the air and then trying to get distance. Pizarro, he was the latest to try it. Up towards Zamorano. Estrada loses it. Pizarro again, he's trying to do that. And it's gone to Este. Good turn by Rubio. Good cross as well. Ably dealt with, but it comes out as far as Ramirez. Good spell of pressure this from Chile at the start of the second half. I think one thing that might be critical is the timing of substitutions in this match, because there is going to be some very heavy legs out there.
Correct.
Now, Chile have on the bench the likes of Jaime Vera and Jorge Contreras, who've played in just about every match at some stage of it. Argentina, on the other hand, have got...
They can both get forward from midfield, John, both those players.
Oh dear, down goes Rubio, a smack in the mouth. And the referee comes, and it's another yellow card. A plethora of them in this second half. Rubio going round the man. Simeone sticking with him, and then it was Oswaldo who came across and clipped him around the nose.
You see, if he sends the Yanez off in the first half, what he did, that's got to be a sending off offence. He puts his arm right across his face.
Well, there was certainly more contact there than there was with the sending off.
It's very inconsistent.
And that's what destroys players as well as spectators. Free kick for Chile. It's a good start to the second half for Chile, this. Argentina will be a little uncomfortable at the way that they're being unable to monopolise the game. Free kick is taken and driven by Espinosa, but never got the loft on it required. Now Pizarro forward offside Zamorano.
There's only one team out there trying to win, and that's Chile, John.
Adidas, in conjunction with Screen Sport, providing your coverage from the South American Championships here. 0-0 in Santiago, Chile and Argentina. Yeah, it's back to the old Argentina, isn't it, where they were happy enough to contain and just play for the draw, really. They've not shown a great deal of adventure in attack in this second half, that's for sure. And yet we know they've got the players capable of doing it. Chile again looking to get Zamorano through the middle. Ruggeri keeps him at bay. There was no foul there. The crowd baying for blood, and they're going to get nothing.
Well, it was a clever little ball played through, and to be honest, he was virtually he was blocked on his way through. I mean, it should have been perhaps obstruction,
but it was one that you felt the referee was never going to give somehow. Here they are, however, inside the penalty area. The shot from Rubio kept out by Vasquez. But Chile is certainly giving it everything they've got. They'll explode with the crowd here if they get a goal. It's an offside verdict for the moment, however, and a free kick.
John, they're playing with 10 men and they're controlling the game. They're taking all the play at Argentina. Argentina are only getting out occasionally on the break. And to be honest, the Argentinian midfield players are not getting forward at all. I mean, they're just sitting in front of their back four. That's the reason their front players are so isolated.
The feeling that if Chile get a goal, it might not be Zamorano for us, it might be a midfield player coming through.
Well, that's what you have to do, you see. They're having to hit long balls and try and get them in the back of the defence. Well, your midfield players have got to get up. If the defender heads it, you pick up the knockdown.
That's right, that's why it could be an Este or a Pizarro tonight.
See, that long ball goes in there like that. Well, that ball, if it comes out, should be picked up by a midfield player.
Certainly one of the issues we talked about at the start of the second half, I think we've been proved right in, and that is that Rubio's come much more into the game.
Yes, he has.
He wasn't there while Yáñez was playing. Again, Zamorano just unable to control it. I suppose in a way with Rubio and Yáñez, it's similar to the England situation where people say you can't play Waddle and Barnes in the same team. The first substitution, and Contreras will replace Este. So we're just talking about Este. Well, he won't figure on the score sheet because he's about to be replaced. Contreras, who has played in the first few matches of the tournament and then been left out for the last three, but has come on in all of them.
He's very good, is Contreras, at that position, John. Just playing kind of 10-15 yards deep of the front two. And he makes good runs there. It'll be difficult for him to make runs.
Well, we've seen a lot of free kicks in both halves. We've seen a number of yellow cards. Rodriguez, Ruggeri,
well, that one's just a challenge from behind. I mean, here again, the Argentinians, they do take a dive. I mean, they do play it.
It must be a nightmare for referees, actually.
Yes.
Especially in conditions like this.
I agree. I mean, you know, we expect a referee to be on his toes, on the mark, every time he makes a decision. It's impossible.
It is where the players are, dare we say, cheating, which they do from time to time, some of them, no doubt about it. Here's Ruggeri for Argentina. Shall we just say they're not being honest sometimes, the players, and that makes it a difficult job for the referee.
They're doing things they shouldn't do.
Here again we have Rodriguez holding his mouth. It's the same with umpires in Test match cricket, isn't it? They've got so much to contend with now. Players appealing about every decision, and some that should never be given. It puts them under immense pressure as officials. Throw in for Argentina. Getting nowhere slowly at the moment. Certainly it's not the same Argentina that played so impressively against Brazil. They scored some good goals in that match, and Well, we've seen him play impressively in just about every game so far.
It looks tonight, John, and I don't know whether it's the conditions or not, although they're playing just not to get beat.
Free kick for Chile. Oh, and it's gone off the top of Simeone's head. Flew away there, so it's going to be a corner for Chile. And just look at the conditions that some of these players are in now. They've had to contend with such heavy rain. But it's Chile's corner from Espinosa. Again, he can't get much height on it. Estrada got in the way. Now Rodriguez plays it forward. They'll look to get someone like Medina Beju through, playing on his own up the middle. Might just get a lucky break. And that's exactly what they're going to try and do again. Margas. And bowled out by Toledo. That was a dangerous area to be playing around with it. Came off as it turned out, but Ruggeri once more, he is like a rock. Ooh, tackle from behind, nothing wrong with it, said the referee on Ramirez that time. A little tussle going on there. Oh dear, this really is farcical at times, and Vilches there and Medina Beju, well, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, and the referee in the end gave the free kick for Chile.
They were both just sliding into each other, really. Like you said, the foul could have gone each way.
They managed to find Rubio. Having a much better second half, gets the cross in. Again Ruggeri there. It comes out, Pizarro cracks it in. Goycochea falls on it. Well, the chance has gone.
Now that was better. Now the cross came in, it got headed out, and there was 2 Chilean midfield players on the edge of the D. That's what they need more of. And these forward balls they're playing, instead of playing them down the middle, angle them away towards the corner of the pitch, towards the corner of the penalty box. They keep hitting the long ball right down the middle, and Ruggeri and the player playing with him keep just heading them away. Just angle them down the sides of the box.
When the ball comes out like it did then to Pizarro, they've just got to crack it back in, because anything could happen. It could take a deflection, could go straight in.
Could shoot, that's right.
Argentina 0, Chile 0. Both sides with just one game left after this one. 18 minutes to go here in the search for a goal. But at the moment Argentina will be the happier of the two countries, because they'll move on to 3 points. Chile will move on to 2. And we've got Brazil against Colombia coming up in the same stadium, don't forget, on the same surface straight after this one. The defender here, who was never really put under pressure, was Garrido. And that's a blocking tackle. And he slithers across to Basualdo, who's already been booked. That was just like a body check.
Yeah, just obstruction. He's got the ball, he knocks it forward, he can see him there, and he's just run across his path.
Splash down. Funny, you always conjure up pictures when you think of South American football. You think of them playing in lovely sunny conditions, blazing heat, bare chests. Look at that.
Hard pitch, green grass.
Yeah, everything's alien to that tonight. Argentina come forward with Simeone. The man who got a foot in the way was Ramirez. Both sides just looking for that one break, which might cause them to celebrate. Here's Ruggeri taking the ball away from the danger zone.
Keep knocking it down the middle, the Chileans. I wish they'd just angle them away.
They've revised their thinking, no doubt, without Yanez, but even so, it's been a bit predictable. There it goes again.
Down the middle.
Estrada it was that time. Offside Medina Beju.
See what they do, they're aiming for Zamorano really, because they know he's best in the air, so that what they're doing, they're aiming for him. What he should be doing, he's spinning away up the sides.
Straight up in the air from the head of Simeone. Chile trying to make progress down the right, and now they have got a bit of width. Contreras cutting it back inside. Here's the chance. He could well have been offside, I fancied, but not sure whether the whistle went or not. I think he probably did. Koikichi is certainly taking his time. Maybe not. However, it came to naught. They had some width because the ball had got out wide to Contreras. Again the whistle sounding. Free kick awarded against the home side.
You see those two, Vasquez and Ruggieri, you know, the long balls down the middle, they'll deal with them all day. But if they have to spin wide and chase Zamorano, I think they've got a hell of a good chance of getting in.
Well, it'd be worth a gamble for Chile now to try and do something, because they know that a point from this one really isn't going to be quite good enough for them. To win it, on the other hand, would be a tremendous bonus. Here we go. Must have heard us. Evo Basset from Necaxa in Mexico will be the substitute. Can he make the difference? He's got a goal or two in his international career. Sort of shot we've seen plenty of during the Copa America. There's down on the ground. Here come Chile, and Vasquez is there once more. He's had a strong performance tonight.
He loves these conditions. He's a tough boy.
The player to come off will be Espinosa for Chile. Now then some progress is being made. The little dig ball through though, safely shepherded back again by Ruggieri. So Espinosa will come off and Basset will come on. One final throw of the dice by Arturo Salah for Chile. I think it would lift the tournament as a whole if Chile could just sneak a victory in this one. Argentina have had it pretty good so far. But, a lot of Argentine people who disagree with that assessment, because they're the only two pleased for their side to get a draw here and move on to 3 points head the group. Bearing in mind, of course, that Brazil have to play Colombia. Colombia having already beaten Brazil once in this championship, 2-0. Again, Vasquez came and standing on no ceremony whatsoever now. Who'd be a linesman?
Yeah, the linesmen have got to concentrate like mad in this situation as well. And obviously they're cold as well. I mean, we never take that into consideration. You know, you've got these two lines when they're standing out there in the cold weather. They're getting wringing wet, and we expect them to be spot on all the time. The concentration's got to be 100%.
As Argentina's defence has to concentrate now, the ball cut back in. Zamorano tussling for it. He can't win it, however, and neither can Pizarro control it. Margas nods it forward. All the pressure coming in from Chile. They've really given it everything there, 10 men in this second half. And it would be cruel for them if they lost to a breakaway goal.
Yes, it would. But it's a cruel game, John. I mean, the team that goes all out attacking, I wouldn't say more times than that, but every now and again they lose. It's only one goal to win a game.
That's right. It takes 1 second, they say, doesn't it?
That's right. It just takes 1 second to score a goal. The team that are defending and sitting back might be the team that break away and get that goal.
Margas hits it forward. It went straight to Simeone, and this looks a bit of... oh, that's a good interception. It looked dangerous for a moment. However, Argentina still try and make it dangerous. Is this the moment? He's blasted it wide. Rodriguez with a good opportunity there, and that would have sealed it.
It was a nice ball there, played in just right on these conditions, put him through the inside right spot. Hits it well, but doesn't hit the target. He should hit the target there. You'd have
thought, if that had been Batistuta, you'd have fancied him, I think.
I think so, yes.
All ifs and buts this
so
game.
He had time to really measure where the goal was and pick his spot in the goal.
Oh, what about that for a clearance? Vilches, he stripped up and then did a cartwheel as he attempted to take the goal kick. So Argentina just suddenly coming again. Regenerated somehow or other. Here is Simeone. Just too long. Still at fever pitch in the stadium despite the torrential downpour. 50,000 crowd in the National Stadium in Santiago, absolutely desperate for Chile to win this in their quest to win the South American Championship for the first time in the country's history. But at the moment, you've got to say that Argentina are probably favourites. Who knows, however? They've got a corner. Rubio wins it. Goycochea and his defenders have some work to do yet. I think there'll be a few heart attacks in this stadium if Chile score now. They've got 4 or 5 players up inside the penalty area. It's cut in and flicked behind. And the Argentine defender there, I think, was claiming that the ball had gone behind before it came off his head.
It looked to me as though it hit the post. He might have scraped his head and then hit the post.
Yeah. Osvaldo certainly claiming that, but Contreras will fire another one in. Nasty, greasy ball at this stage. Anything can happen if Contreras takes it well. It's not got as far as they would have liked. Pizarro picks it up. Looks to play it straight back into the middle, which it does. It could yet bounce. There's the shot! And a fantastic stop from Goycochea to Garrido's shot. That really was an astonishing reaction saved by Sergio Goycochea. He proved himself a shot stopper in the World Cup finals last year. Look at this, Garrido smacks it, and he's stretched everything to stop that.
When the cross comes in, Pizarro gets a good cross in, John, and they've got a lot of bodies in the box, Argentina. And they get on the end of the knockdown, but he makes a match-winning save there, does Goycochea.
Oh, now the break is on at the other end. Medina Bejo, is this going in? It's a foot wide. Well, Medina Bejo had the chance at the other end to clinch it for Argentina. Drama at the one end with that fantastic save from Goycochea, and then Medina Bejo is so close to the winner for Argentina at the other.
Well, he did the right thing. I mean, he got his head up early. He saw Toledo was well off his line, sweeping again, thought he could chip him. He was just inaccurate, that's all.
Good finish to the match. Contreras rolls it forward. Held up by Zamorano, but then the interception once more is by Altamirano. No goals, but a lot of drama here in the closing stages of the game in Santiago. And Margas hoofs it up the field. Good control, and a good ball as well played by Zamorano. Rubio now. Going on the outside of the defender, cuts it back in. The punch out from Goycochea. Well, it really is building into a terrific climax, this one.
You see, he's doing everything that Yanez does. You know, you'd think it was the same player when you see them doing exactly the same thing, getting down that right side, right wing, in behind the left back, and then getting crosses in. And it's very dangerous.
I think Goycochea did the right thing, punching that ball as well then. It's not easy to handle it, keep control of it. So it's a free kick for Argentina now. Still 0-0. Argentina happy to slow it down. Franco stumbles on, picks himself up. The referee did well then, he waited. Loud advantage. Rodriguez. He loses it. Both sides relying on a quick breakaway now. Rubio. Well, there was only one goal when they met before. They are very closely matched, these two sides.
Johnny could go either way. Even now, he could go either way. You fancy Chile to get down this right wing and get a crossing that they'll get on the end of and get a goal.
But it might come from a ball that's half sort of cleared. Anything might happen. Is this to be the moment? They're all queuing up for it. You feel as though there are too many Argentine bodies around again. They do support Ruggeri well.
They're getting numbers in. They're getting numbers in the box though now, and they're picking up knockdowns.
Let's have a look at this again here. This really was an absolutely wonderful save. Garrido on the right foot, smack, and Goycochea saves Argentina.
That's a super save, but they got 5 in the box. He's the break the other end. He looks up, sees Toledo off the line, tries to chip him, just inaccurate.
50,000 fans roaring their heads off in the vain hope, for most of them anyway, that Chile can get a goal. I say a vain hope, who knows, who's to say? Margas is stronger in that situation. Less than 6 minutes to go. 0-0, Argentina and Chile. Quite a thriller at the moment, bearing in mind the conditions here. It is an absolute downpour in Santiago. He's missed his kick. Argentina looking for that breakaway again, looking to exploit Medina Bajo's pace. And Argentina will bring Blas Junta on for the last 5 minutes as Garrido takes the free kick. Through it goes, wide, and a goal kick. To come off it will be Rodriguez. Hasn't had quite the impact in the second half he did in the first. Junta generally only gets 5 or 6 minutes.
I think he's run his legs out, John. You know, he plays just beyond his front two, but he has to go back every now and again when they're defending and play with the midfield players. And I just think his legs have gone.
A word from Goycochea to Vasquez, just about where Junta is going to fit in. He really is a midfield player. Rodriguez has been playing, as Don House says, just behind the front two. Junta is known as a bit of a hard man in Argentina. He can put himself about. Just to remind you, one sending off in the match so far. Yanez of Chile in the first half. Almost countless bookings, but there you go. Ruggieri's header out again to Simeone. Ball will just stick. Batistuta unable to do much with it, however. So here is Pizarro for Chile. Again he adopts the ploy of flicking the ball up and then getting distance on the clearance. It breaks for Estrada. Medina Bajo nicks it away from Margas and then takes him on down the touchline. Good skill from Medina Bajo. Oh, and the switch of play excellent as well. Dealt with so far, but here is Junta. Down he goes, free kick. Every
now and again you do see, even in these conditions, some super skill. I mean, Bajo's run down the line there. I mean, he played it past Margas and then skipped out the challenge, got over the challenge and then chased the ball and put it in. And there was another ball helped on towards the left wing.
Yeah, we see some excellent skill throughout the championships. It's a shame that we've got a goalless game so far, because everybody wants to see the ball go in the net. Nonetheless, it's had its moments of entertainment, and it's still not over. Franco won this free kick. He might take it as well. Here it comes in. Well, it was a good try. Got plenty of sting in the shot from Dario Franco. The pristine shirt of Junta stands out a mile on the halfway line. Time running out for Chile. They need a victory, remember, here if they're to retain much of an interest in the Copa America. It's not quite all over for them, of course. They do have the one final match to play against Brazil. Argentina will meet Colombia in their final game. Chile will get a free kick out of this. They want to take it quickly. Goal now would really put the cat among the pigeons. Pizarro takes it, lofted towards the edge of the area, safely out. But you honestly can't see where a goal for Chile is going to come from, unless now Contreras. And it was Junta who headed it out. Back it comes again. It needs the flick onto the man at the back post. That wasn't forthcoming. From Vilches, I don't think that will stay in play. But even with or without Yanez, you've wondered where Chile were going to score from tonight.
Yes, that's right. They tough and they mark well, the Argentinians. Whatever they're called upon to do, whether it's on the floor or in the air, they do it at the back.
They don't mind giving away free kicks. This one will be the latest. We've moved to within about 60 seconds of the final whistle, plus a bit of time to be added on, no doubt.
So if they don't get this first ball coming in the box, they've got to get the second one. That means, say, that if the Argentinians head it out, they've got to get that one and put that one back in the box.
That's where that man fits out at the bottom of your picture.
They've got to screen the box. We call it screen the box with players.
Here it comes. And Goycochea punches it. It was a bit too close to him. Another opportunity. And this is a tricky one, and Goycochea flicks it over the crossbar. The whistle had sounded in any event.
Offside, John.
Yeah. But the first ball in wasn't good enough.
That was too close to the keeper. But at least he punched it and gave them a chance. The second ball ought to have been a better quality ball.
There we see the agility of Sergio Goycochea, though, who really has established himself as Argentina's #1 after Pompidou broke his leg in Italy. So Alfio Basile, the Argentine coach, puffing away on the cigarettes, but a relatively happy man, I imagine. It looks as though Argentina are going to move on to 3 points, Chile on to 2. So Argentina again look to get Medina Beju through the middle. They're inside that last minute. Here's a chance, inside the area, tussling for it. They've managed not to bring him down. That was the grave danger there for Argentina. A penalty at that stage, what drama. Many spectators would have been unable to stand it, I think. But it's going to be a 0-0 draw here in Santiago in the National Stadium between Chile and Argentina. A quick comment, Don.
Well, I think Chile were very unlucky. I mean, they went down to 10 men, which really looked a very poor decision by the referee. But they've took the game to Argentina for 90 minutes.
Thanks very much, Don. Don't forget, Colombia and Brazil coming up. It's Chile 0, Argentina 0, though.